y'all know that the things that you go through that don't take you out only come to make you strong?
Yeah.
We gotta have that mentality, y'all, that anything that comes against us, that tries to discourage us, only comes to encourage and build us up.
Amen.
And we gotta have that attitude, because that's how growth takes place.
Right.
But before I go on a tangent and get off what we're actually going to talk about today, I'm continuing with the series of the fruit of the Spirit. So today we're going to talk about kindness. And I find kindness something that's very special because we live in a world where people don't know how to be kind anymore. We have so many people with scrunched up faces, walking around mad, ready to hurt people, ready to curse people out, ready to talk about people, throw dirt on people's names. This is the world that we live in. But how many of y'all know we're called to be kind? And we have to have that spirit of kindness resonating in our hearts. Because how many of y'all know if you just smile at somebody, they're going to smile back?
Right.
Because if they don't, they're going to feel out.
Yeah.
All you got to do is just smile at somebody, they're going to smile back. Trust me, I tried. I'm a prime example of this because a lot of people say I walk around looking like I'm just going to choke slam you as soon as I see you. So I'm working on that myself. But we have so many people that walk around with angry faces and they have anger in their heart and they don't want to be kind. And that's why when it got to this particular message, I was somewhat excited because it's the truth. I see so many people out there that probably want to be kind, but they've been done wrong so many times. And so they allow the past experiences to shape their future. And the thing about it is, I serve a God who has been so kind to me, who's given me his favor, who's had mercy on me. How dare I strive to be like him, but not be kind to my neighbor? So if y'all just bear with me for a few moments, we're going to get some instructions on how to be kind. We're going to get some instructions on how to be kind because I'm telling y'all, we have to get to a place where we're learning to be more kind towards one another. And I just feel like these two scriptures that we're going to read and talk about today are going to give us the tools that we need to accomplish that. First, y'all turn me to the book of Colossians. We're going to be in chapter 3. Colossians chapter 3. Fresh pages of this core Bible. We're going to be starting at verse 12. Say amen when you get there.
Amen.
And if you're not, say wait on me. All right, and I'm reading from the New King James Version. And it reads, let me see. Therefore, as the elect of God, holy and beloved, put on tender mercies, kindness, humility, meekness, long-suffering, bearing with one another and forgiving one another. If anyone has a complaint against another, even as Christ forgave you, so also must do. This is powerful, y'all. Because I really feel like, and like I said, I'm so glad that these two verses particularly came across first, because I feel like if we get these two verses, it shouldn't be hard for us to be kind going forward. If we get what these two verses say. Now let's start with verse 12 where it says, therefore as the elect of God, that's talking about us, God's children, the people that he saved, those who accepted the gift of Christ. You are God's elect. You're holy and beloved.
Yes, yes.
Holy and beloved. That means that you have a certain standard that you should carry yourself with. And most importantly, you are loved. How many of y'all know we walk around here like we not loved? We do. We walk around here depressed, sad, angry at the world like we're not loved.
Right.
So then we're going to go forward where it says, put on tender mercies. Let's talk about mercy first. Getting to the concordance, one of the definitions that it gave me, and it resonated with me because I thought about God. It says, a deep feeling about someone's difficulty or misfortune. How many of y'all know that when we fall short and we sin, that is a difficulty and a misfortune to some of us?
Right.
Some of us have a difficulty with letting go of sin.
Right.
So God has deep feelings towards us when we get in our misfortune, in our difficulty, which is sin.
Right.
And we should have the same manner when we look towards our brethren.
Right.
We should think in the same manner, because it's simply the thing about it is when a person falls short, when a person is angry, when a person goes through something, they're having a difficulty. If a person is squished up in their face, if a person is finding it hard to say something nice to you, it's because they are having difficulty.
Amen.
I don't know about y'all. I don't know if you've ever been sad or burdened, but it's hard for you to be nice to a person when you're going through some things. That's why we have to put on that mercy.
Right.
So that we can have a deep feeling towards those who go through misfortune and difficulties. Because I'm telling y'all, the world reacts to the way that we live. So every word that I'm about to touch, just so we can get the full gist of this verse, it's all necessary for us to learn how to be kind and edify others. And the first step is that we have to understand how to be moved with compassion when we come across a person who's going through a difficult time or had a misfortune.
Right.
And then we go on to the next word, which is the word of the day, like they say on Sesame Street. Kindness.
Right.
Kindness being a quality of being friendly, generous, and considerate. The quality of being friendly, generous, and considerate. Now, I look at these words and I say, let's look at our lives. How many of us will say that we're open to being friendly? Or how many of us look at our lives and say, I'm not going to be too friendly because people are going to talk about me? I never quite got how somebody tried to clown you for being too friendly if you're a child of God. I never understood that, because I've been around people who's like, oh, you too friendly. I know that's what I'm called to do. I'm called to go out here, be friendly, be nice, so that I can win people. And if I win people, we save souls. And if we save souls, guess who is also pleased? God.
Yeah.
So therefore, we've done our job. So then again, how can you talk about me for being friendly?
Right.
You gonna fool around and miss your blessing trying to be too mean to the world. Because you're being disobedient.
Come on.
And then we go into generous. How many of y'all have a problem with just giving people stuff? That was convicting. Y'all was real quiet. So I'm going to move on. But we have to be generous when we think about the word kindness. Because there are going to be some people who are going to ask to borrow some money and they're not going to give it back.
Amen.
They're not going to give it back. But you can't get to a place where you are getting upset with that person I'm telling y'all have to have the giver's mindset when y'all hear the word borrow.
Amen.
If you do not have a giving spirit, when somebody hits your line saying borrow, just say no.
Amen.
Just say no.
Amen.
Because you're going to put yourself in a place where God is going to be displeased with you. Because now you're going to have a grievance against one of his children. And to have a grievance against one of his children is to have a grievance against him.
Come on now.
But y'all ain't going to think about it like that. It's
Come on now.
convicting.
Come on now.
We have to move to a place where when we give somebody something, don't expect it in return. God gives us love each and every day.
Amen. Yeah.
Some of us don't give it back to him in return. But that's his kindness that moves us. And we should be the same way. And then we go on to the next part of this definition, considerate. When is the last time you've considered another above yourself?
Come on now.
We don't do that because human beings feel like they are programmed to be selfish.
Selfishness.
When we
Come
really
on now.
should be at a place where we are selfless.
Amen. Come on now.
God tells you to love yourself because you are beautifully and wonderfully made, but nevertheless, don't forget to consider others.
Amen.
Be considerate of what somebody else is going through. Be considerate of what somebody else's life is doing. It's funny, every day at work, we start off the day on my team. We start off the day with a Bible verse. Every day. Every day. It's just for some reason my team just don't feel right unless we get that word in for the day. They get their first calls, they'll just be like, Pastor, we need a word. We need a word, Pastor. I'm just sitting down there trying to get in my system myself. But then I tell myself, the Lord telling you something. Somebody need a word. Somebody needs something to move in their life. You don't know what's going on at home. You don't know what that phone call just did to them. Go on, get in that word.
Amen.
That's why I make it my mission
Amen.
to have a word ready for that team of mine. I make it my mission. That's why I tell people, everybody just talk about, man, Joe, how's the job? But I said, let me tell y'all something. I'm on assignment.
Right.
It could be better, but I'm on assignment. There is a reason that I'm there, so I'm going to do what I need to do. And being on assignment, I'm learning how to be more considerate of others.
Amen.
Yeah.
Because when you work at a call center and people call in, talk to you crazy, you have to be considerate of what they've already been through before they get to your line.
Amen. Amen.
You don't know how many times they done called and got hung up on. You don't know how many times they've called and somebody's told them no. You don't know how many times they've called and somebody's giving them the wrong information.
Amen.
You have to be considerate.
Amen.
The same goes for those you come across in the world. We have to be considerate and take into account what they may be going through.
That's right.
And then it goes forth and says humility. We have problems with this word. I'm about to give y'all a secret. If you ever get to a place where you find it hard to be humble, stop comparing yourself to others and compare yourself to God.
Come on now. Come on now.
Stop comparing yourself to others and compare yourself to God. And if it's hard for you to be humble, then you need to automatically go into prayer.
Amen.
Because if I compare myself to God, I'm already lost. I'm already lower than low. Nowhere near close to him. So it's easy for me to have a spirit of lowliness when I compare myself to God. Because a lot of y'all compare yourself to others and say, I look better than them, I sing better than them, I speak better than them, I know more than them, I know my relationship with God is better than theirs, I know I love better than them. And that's your problem. You go around saying how you're better than others. God ain't called you to be above other people. He called you to reach people.
Amen.
And how many of you know if you continue to think that you're better than people and you don't humble yourself, God cannot fully use you.
That's
Come on now.
Right.
Come on.
I don't care how lowly they look to you. God has a purpose for their life.
Amen.
And yet you are going to not shorten the kingdom because you can not stop thinking so highly of yourself in their presence. We have to get to a place where we understand how to be honest. We have to. Because that is what's going to fully wrap kindness around our spirits. That's what's going to do it. All these words are going to tie back in because once you get this, you can do other things. And then the next one, this is a great word that we take out of place and out of context sometimes. Meekness. A lot of people take the word meekness and try to replace it for weakness.
Woo! Come on, boy.
But in all honesty, the word meekness, it really means gentleness. You can be full of power and still be gentle. You can be as strong as an ox and still be gentle.
Right.
The thing about it is, meekness does not equal weakness. So it is okay to be meek, but it's not okay to be weak in certain situations. Because the only time when it's okay to show your weakness is when you're in presence of your God. Because he understands their weakness. And then he can strengthen your weakness once you present it to him.
Right.
But to the world, you should walk around with a sense of power. But understanding just because you got all this power that God has given you, at no point in time should you not be able to be gentle with the people around you.
Yes, sir.
And that's not always talking about a gentle touch. Sometimes it's a gentle word, a gentle speech. Everything that comes out of your mouth doesn't have to be firm and powerful. Sometimes somebody needs a soft word, a soft answer. Because that soft answer can turn away wrath. So we have to understand how to be meek. And then last but not least, long suffering. Being able to suffer long. Being able to endure long. We can do it. It may seem hard. Because I don't know about y'all, but I got a problem with suffering too. It hurts me to suffer too.
Amen.
But when you get to the place where you understand who has you and who you're built on, who your foundation is in life, it becomes a lot easier to suffer long.
Amen.
Because your suffering is only for a while. A short time. And if you are willing and able to let God do what he has been doing for you since you came out your mother's womb, and even before that, you can continue to suffer long.
Yes, sir.
Then it goes on to saying, bearing with one another and forgiving one another. Right now, how many of y'all can say that y'all have forgiven everybody that has did you wrong? All right, okay, I guess I'm going to move on because I got real quiet. So it's okay, I'm in the same boat. But then it goes on to say, if anyone has a complaint against another, even as Christ forgave you, you also must do. So that person that owes you money, forgive them. That person that didn't compliment your outfit, forgive them. That person that talked about your hair, forgive them. That person that tried to tear you down, forgive them. That person that said that they just don't love you like you love them, forgive them. That person that did you wrong, forgive them. That person that took away from you, forgive them.
Amen.
Because Christ forgave you.
Right.
The key to us to learn how to be kind to one another is we have to learn how to forgive.
Right.
We have to learn how to forgive, because I think it's very hard to be kind to somebody that you have not forgiven.
Yes. Right.
I find it very hard to be generous, friendly, and considerate to a person you have not forgave. It's real hard. But if God was willing and still doing it to forgive us, give us new mercies, I find it rude that we can't do the same to others when we say that we are striving to be like him.
Right.
Y'all, I'm telling y'all, we have to get to a place where we think about all those people who've done us wrong. And we say, you know what? I forgive you. You may have hurt me, but I forgive you. You may have done me wrong, but I forgive you. Because once you forgive them, you open up doors for you to be forgiven.
Amen.
Because what if God was like us and he held every single last thing we did against us, and he stripped his kindness and his favor away from us? Y'all, we have to think about those things when we think about how we can't forgive others.
Amen.
But we don't want to think about those things, because then we convict ourselves.
Right.
And it's a nice saying that knowing is half the battle. So once you know in yourself that you can forgive those who've hurt you, then you can move forward. I'm letting y'all know today, as hard as it may be, you have the capacity to forgive anyone of anything that they've ever done to you. You have that capacity. You may think that it's hard. You may find it challenging to do, but you have the capacity, because God gave it to you, to forgive those who wronged you. But you have to take the initiative, and you have to do it. And that's kindness, y'all. All these things, all these words, they tie together. That's why we got to put them on.
Amen.
Because when we go out into the world, these are the things that we need to have on us. That's the only way we can reach people. That's the only way we can reach people. Because if you go out and you already have mercy on the brain, no matter what somebody says to you, you already know that they may have a misfortune. They may have a difficulty that they're going through. I'm going to bypass that and I'm going to smile at them anyways. When you have kindness on you, it's so easy for you to say, hey, how you doing today? God bless you today. You know what? Hey, man, what's going on, bro? Man, what's the deal? Hey, bro, I hate to ask you this, but I really need to borrow $20. You know what, bro? Here, just take it. Man, bro, I got you. I'm going to pay you back. Just take it.
Amen.
If they pay you back, fine. If they don't, fine. Because you already have a generous heart in mind.
Amen.
And then to be considerate. When a person calls you or a person bumps you and they going off, consider what they're going through.
That's right.
And forgive them. Because you may not have been the culprit of what they're really going through. So be considerate of them. Then on top of that, we have to wear humility on us. Saying to ourselves, I may think that I'm better than you, but I'm not better than God. So therefore, I'm going to bring myself to a low place. So nobody that I encounter, I can sit there and say, I can't talk to y'all. I'm telling y'all, if you ever get to a place where you walk past a homeless person and you can't talk to them because of what they may be wearing or the smell that they may have on them, you need to humble yourself. Y'all, I was in Austin this weekend, and I went down a stairwell that had the most foulest odor in the world. And I know why. Because it was about 6 homeless people that was in that hallway. That's where they had shelter. And I had to talk to them. And some of them was trying to hold conversations with me, and I still held a conversation with them. I asked one guy, I was looking for a friend of mine, and I said, have you seen so-and-so that came through this hallway? Oh, yeah, man, they came through about a few minutes ago. And I said, thank you, God bless you. Because of the simple fact, if I was too good to talk to them, I would have never found out if my friend came through the hall.
Amen. Amen.
And I know it's a funny story, but it's true, y'all. When we get to a place where we humble ourselves and we can talk to anybody, it's going to be really impossible for the word of God not to go out.
Right.
It's going to be really impossible for us not to live our best lives on this side if we are humbling ourselves to talk and serve anyone.
Yes, sir.
I'm telling y'all, when we were riding down through downtown Austin at 3 o'clock in the morning, my heart was moved seeing all these people lined up with mattresses and covers. My heart was moved because this is somebody's everyday life while you are going to a warm house.
Amen.
And the warmth that they may get is only the warmth that their clothes and the blankets can provide. Y'all seeing that humbled me. Seeing what the lowest of lowest people go through humbled me.
Amen.
And it moved me to be more compassionate. Because there's more that I can do. We have to be humble. We have to have humility on us. And then we have to understand that we have to be meek. We have to be able to give a soft, gentle answer. We have to be able to be gentle to the touch. Because I'm here to tell you, everybody doesn't need a bear hug. Some people need a pat hug.
Yeah. Amen.
But if you are too strong to understand those levels, you can't give them what they need.
Mama.
Be able to be gentle even in your strength.
Amen.
And then we have to be able to suffer long. Not just through our suffering, but through others.
Amen.
Because if you can suffer long within yourself, no matter what somebody else may be going through, you can bear with them as well. And we have to have all these things on us. And once we understand these things, we have these things on us, it's impossible for you not to be kind if these things are on you at all times. But let's see what kindness really looks like and why it's important to be kind. Y'all turn with me to the book of Luke. We're on to Luke chapter 10. Luke chapter 10, verse 25. No, 26, verse 26. And it reads, he said to him, what is written in the law? What is your reading of it? So he answered, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength, and with all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself. I'm going to stop right there before I go any further. I'm going to stop right there. And I want to focus on loving your neighbor as you love yourself. I want to give this little sound bite before I move on and give y'all the example of somebody's ultimate kindness. In order to love your neighbor like you love yourself, you got to love yourself first. Because if you don't love yourself, how can you show somebody a love that you never knew?
Amen.
And so I challenge y'all to learn to love yourself first, so that you can love others and be obedient to God.
Amen.
But let us continue. And he said to him, "You have answered rightly. Do this and you will live." But he wanted to justify himself. Said to Jesus, "And who is my neighbor?" This is when it gets good. Then Jesus answered and said, "A certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho and fell among thieves, who stripped him of his clothing, wounded him, and departed, leaving him half dead. Now by chance a certain priest came down the road." That's some of y'all church folks. "And when he saw him, he passed by on the other side of the road. Likewise, a Levite, when he arrived at the place, came and looked and passed by him on the other side. But a certain Samaritan, as he journeyed, came where he was. And when he saw him, he had compassion. So he went to him and bandaged his wounds, pouring on oil and wine. And he set him on his own animal, brought him to an inn, and took care of him. On the next day, when he departed, he took out 2 denarii, gave them to the innkeeper, and said to him, "Take care of him, and whatever more you spend, when I come again, I will pay you." So which of these 3 do you think was neighbor to him who fell among thieves? And he said, "He who showed mercy on him." Then Jesus said to him, "Go and do likewise."
Right.
This is the ultimate act of kindness.
Right.
Because he was moved with compassion of what he's seen. So his heart felt compassion, and he felt enough emotion and deep feelings for this person's misfortune and difficulty to where he felt that he had to move. And he understood that because he was half past dead, I could not be rough with him. I had to be gentle when I wrapped him, when I bandaged him. And I understood that even though I may have a certain status and I have what I have on and what I'm going through in the mission that I'm trying to get towards, I see them struggling. I'm not so high and mighty to where I can't stop to service him. And then let me be friendly and generous and considerate enough to lend a hand to somebody that's in need.
Amen. Yes.
Therefore saying, that's my neighbor. That's the person that I should have the same amount of love for as I have for myself. That's the person that I should service. Y'all, we have to get to a place. We need to be moved to be kind. We need to move to act on somebody who has a need.
Right.
Rather it be a physical need, an emotional need, a spiritual need. We have to be moved to move and serve them in their times of need. We have to get to a place where we're sitting there and saying, I see your need, let me serve you. I see your need, let me serve you. I see that you're struggling, let me be kind to you. I see that you're going without, let me be kind to you. I see that you missed a couple of meals, let me feed you. I see that you need some money in your pockets, let me give to you. I see that you need some clothes on your back, let me clothe you, because that's what God called me to do.
Right.
You may not be at the status that I feel that I'm at, but let me serve you. Because it's hard to be a servant when you think you're better than others. But when you humble yourself to the place where nobody is above your service or below your service, then and only then can you be a service to the kingdom.
Come on now.
At that place is where you can truly be used by God.
Amen.
Y'all, we have to humble ourselves and learn how to be kind to our neighbor.
Amen.
We have to learn how to forgive our neighbor so that we can be even more kind to our neighbor. Y'all, we got to be moved at this point in time where forgiveness is at the forefront of our lives. And kindness is what motivates us and ushers us to do for people.
Amen.
We should never look at a situation and say, let me see how I can gain by helping you. No. We need to look at this situation like, I see a need, let me provide.
Amen.
I see an opportunity to share the love of God.
Amen.
Let me show it.
That's it.
I see an opportunity for somebody to see God for what he truly is. Let me take hold of it. I see an opportunity to bring somebody in the family. Let me go recruit. I see an opportunity to be a blessing because I was blessed. So let me go blessed.
Yes, Lord.
Amen.
Y'all, what I want y'all to take away from this is that kindness is essential for us to do our job. Kindness is essential for us to do everything that God has called us to do. And this is a good one. I don't want you to miss this. I want y'all to listen. Put on your listening ears. Kindness is the key to your blessings.
Come on now.
I'm saying it again just in case somebody missed it, because y'all a
Yes,
little
sir.
too quiet, so I didn't think y'all
Amen.
caught it. So I'm gonna say it again. Kindness is the key to your blessing. Because what you do to the least of them, you do to God.
Yeah.
And I'm here to tell you, our God pays back tenfold.
Yes.
Amen.
So anything that you do for God shall be, will be rewarded.
Amen.
Above everything that you gave to do
Yeah.
what God
Yeah.
called
Yes.
you to do. So I'm going to say it again. Kindness is the key to your blessing.
Yeah.
So therefore, you should be motivated and encouraged to be more kind.
Yeah. Amen.
At this time, we're opening up the floor for anybody that has a problem and is struggling with being kind today. Anybody that's struggling with forgiving those who done you wrong. And if you don't feel like coming, just raise your hand. Just raise your hand. And right now, we're just going to go to the Lord in prayer.
Amen.
Because I really believe for us to get what God has for us in 2019, for us to advance as a body, for us to advance as people and children of God, we have to get to a place where forgiveness is second nature, where kindness is second nature, and we don't have to have our arms twisted behind our back by God for us to do these things.
Yes, Lord.
Because when they become second nature and they become habit, that once somebody does you wrong, you know what? You may be going through something. And I'm going to consider that. I forgive you. But you did this, and this. I forgive you.
Amen.
Yeah. Gotta do it.
Because you never know. You saying you forgave them may cure what they're going through.
Yes, Lord.
Amen.
So be quick to forgive. And be slow to have a grudge.
Amen.
Amen.
Father, we thank you
Thank you, Lord.
for your word and for this message. And Father, I pray that this message penetrated some people's hearts and made them think to themselves, am I really forgiving people like I should? Am I as kind as I need to be? Have I humbled myself before you, God, so that I can be humble to serve others? Father, have I understood what it meant to be meek instead of weak, so that I can be gentle and give softness to others? And most importantly, Father, am I able to suffer long?
My Lord.
Am I able to go through things trusting and believing that you're going to bring us out? Have I mastered these things, Father? And if not, Father, touch me now. Touch me now. Transform my life to where these qualities, I can wear them every day so that I can serve you wholeheartedly.
Yes, Lord.
Not regretting the things that I have made, the decisions I've made, not regretting the things that I do for others, but taking it as an opportunity to spread the love that you gave to me.
Yes.
To share the forgiveness that you gave to me.
Yes.
And to help those who don't know you. Father, today I just pray that everybody that heard this message, that their heart was penetrated today and their heart is moved to change. That people made a decision today that they were going to do whatever it takes to be more kind. Whatever it takes to be more humble. Whatever it takes to show more mercy. Whatever it takes to suffer long. Whatever it takes to bear with one another.
Yes, yes.
And when it comes to a place where we're complaining about one another, let us get in your face.
Yes, God.
So that we can forgive them. Because we know not what they are going through. So let us be considerate. And let us be moved with compassion when we see people who have a need. That once we can fulfill it, we go back and fulfill. Lord, put it on our hearts to act and not to stand still because of our circumstances. Father, put it on our hearts to forgive in every chance we get. Because we understand that if we're able to forgive others, you will forgive us. We understand that when we're kind to others, you're kind to us. We understand that as long as we are your children, we have to have a mind like Christ. And last I checked, Christ was a forgiving person. Christ was a loving person. Christ was a kind person. Christ showed people mercy. Christ was humble because he was a servant. He didn't come to be served. He came to serve. And last I checked, a servant is an humble person. He never placed himself above. He was always ready to serve and be with. So let us take these things into consideration so that we can do your works and we can fulfill the will and the calling on our lives. Father, move us today. Transform us today.
Yes, God.
Change us today that when we walk out that door, somebody's going to test us. There's a test waiting for us as soon as we walk out that door. Let us not forget what we learned today. Let us not forget the transformation that we're trying to have today. And Lord, I take that back. Let us not forget the transformation that we're training to achieve.
Yes, yes.
Because when we try, we're setting ourselves up to fail. And we don't need to fail when it comes to making these changes.
Yes.
We need to train so that we can succeed. Because if we succeed in being transformed, we know that you can move in our lives. We know that you can bless us. Because if we're transformed, we can be obedient. And if we're obedient, Lord, that opens up the doors for our blessings. That opens up that door for us to be more serving. That opens up that door for us to do more for you, us to serve you better. That when we get before you, you say, well done, my faithful servant, and not depart from me, I never knew you.
Yes, yes.
Because despite what happens on this side, all the things that we have and we gain on this side is not equivalent to hearing, well done,
Amen.
my faithful servant.
Amen.
Because at the end of it all, we got to pass away. We got to leave the flesh behind. And I don't want to gain the world on this side and lose my crown on the other side.
Yes.
So, Father, let us strive to do your will.
Yes.
Let us strive to forgive. Let us strive to be kind. Let us strive to humble ourselves daily because we think about your example and not others. Let us strive to suffer long because when it comes to a time when we are suffering and we can endure our suffering, we can teach others to do the same.
Yes.
Because we know. And Father, most importantly, let us learn to love ourselves so that we can love our neighbors in that like manner. Because we understand that that's one of the great commandments, that you will be so well pleased with us by. So let us learn how to do those things. Do the simple things. that moves us, that transforms us, that helps us bring glory to your name and pleases you. I pray this prayer. I make this request in your Son's mighty name,
Yes.
Jesus the Christ. Amen.
Amen.